Yeah, like I was saying, he was he had helped build the adult space that I talked about with about Thomas Costello worked for. That was a different story, but he helped actually build that base, a bunch of other bases. He helped build S2. S4 is real popular with Bob Lazar. That's a whole other story. He was a guy that helped build UFOs with the government out of old UFOs or something, or fixed up an old UFO. I know that's a whole long story, but so those two stories happened. There was another story. He said he was invited. And this is after all the first two I told you about. This is the thing that made him quit. He said, "Fuck this shit. I ain't doing it no more. I ain't gonna serve these evil bastards," because he thought that he was working for just a regular patriotic government, right? He didn't know that. I mean, he knew about the aliens, but he didn't know that they were bad. I didn't give him full details. Well, he was invited to. He said there's a United Nations. You know how they have the United Nations embassy and stuff like that? He says they have one underground, and it's actually the main one in the U.S. They have one here in the U.S. It's underground. He was invited there to a meeting. A bunch of other people that he worked with, military, and then they have government, political people there, secret shadow government, shit. And he's sitting there, and they're talking about, about what they're going to do, the plans, and they start talking about the New World Order, how they want a New World Order for the world, because it'll be, keep everyone under control more. And then they start talking about the population control, how there's too many people in the world, and then he started getting like, whoa, what the hell? He didn't like that shit. And, well, first of all, he said when he walked in there and they sit down, he looked up on the balcony and there were 6 very, very tall grays. And he said they were like I think he said they were, I don't remember if he said they were quiet during the whole thing or if they were talking. I don't remember. I mean, you can see it in the video. I'll send it to everyone. But he said that they were like the leaders of the United Nations, basically. I mean, I guess they were in charge of the meeting or whatever. And he said that they wanted to get rid of eventually get rid of the Constitution and stuff like that. Because, I don't know, it's real crazy stuff. And he said, and that's when he said he wasn't going to build anymore, do anything, have nothing to do with the shit. So he turned all his stuff in and told the government to fuck off. And ever since then, he started getting threats on his life and all that. Eventually, there was another story. I can't remember. He had a friend in the FBI or something, and I think he had to kill another FBI guy because he was trying to kill him. Something, I don't know. You can look it up. But Phil Schneider, oh, and he had all these medals with him, like 8 different medals he snuck out. That, his father used to work in the same field. His father used to work on secret government stuff. That's how he was brought up into it. But he got some, he shows a medal on the tape. I mean, he's done a whole bunch of UFO conferences before he died. They said it was a suicide, but his family doesn't think he did it. And his mom, when she saw the corpse, he wasn't missing the 2 fingers like he was missing. She said it looked like him, but it was like they picked some guy off like it was some other guy that looked just like him, but it wasn't him. You know, and he said he hung himself in his shower head or some shit with a catheter tube cable or something, or I don't care what you say, no one can hang themselves from a damn shower head, but whatever, you know. All his stuff his house was raided. Woman was gone. Like, how did he kill himself when all his files were missing? All the medals he had. He shows the medals on the video. He lets people touch them. He let people analyze them. Back in 95, 96. He started doing UFO conventions in 94. You know, telling everyone about this shit. How you know, we're our government's don't trust in these bad aliens. All they want is, you know, in the government, these elite people that they don't care. You know, they just want their rich houses, because that's what the aliens tell them is, okay, you know, once we take over or whatever, just make the world. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it because it's so fucking complicated. But they made it look like a suicide, but it was murder. You know. He even tells in the video one of his other friends was murdered about 5 months before. It's weird. The last video he made, 5 months after that video, he was you know, they said he killed himself, but he didn't. All the evidence points to that he didn't, and the autopsy reports are. The family can't get the autopsy reports, and when they talk to the autopsy guy, he won't say nothing. It's like he's scared or something. And you know, I mean, I haven't even read the story in a while. I don't. There's a lot of stuff I'm leaving out. You know. I don't know, man. That's basically, you know, what I remember. I know that he, I don't remember, man. I'm trying to remember if I'm just forgetting anything. Yeah, oh yeah, back then, you know, he would do the conventions, you know. He was the geologist and everything. I don't know, I'll send everybody the vid, the 2 different vids that he was at. These are 2 different conventions he did. You know, he said one of the metals 12 times harder than a diamond. Another metal, it doesn't melt till you have to heat this other metal he had up to like 500,000 degrees or some crazy ass shit that we can't even do, like with our technology. Well, the secret government technology, they have the technology, but you know, regular people like us, we can't heat. I don't know. The metal's like very hard to melt, very strong. He's got all these different metals. Oh, there's someone over there. And it's pretty crazy that, you know, they shot at him in his car and everything. Like he kept getting. Oh yeah, like I said, his friend died in the last video he made. He said his friend was murdered by them, but it was kind of covered up and everything. He didn't go into details, but then he ended up dead. I don't know. That's all I'm going to talk about it. Y'all can research it. I'll send you the vids. Cheers. Cheers to the truth getting out there about this stuff. I think everyone needs to know about this. See ya.